Now folks, you're probably expecting me to lay into chapter 100 of Dragon Ball Super for the fact that for a 100th chapter, it didn't really offer all that much, especially when you got the likes of some of its main editors promoting the living hiffle out of it, saying that something exciting and unexpected will happen. Okay, we did get something unexpected. The fact that the special beam cannon, Light of Death, was stretched out for many, many, many panels. But I do like the name Light of Death. It does sound very kitsch and very much something that a 15-year-old me would have come up with, and I thought that would have been the best thing in the world. Had we, Dragon Ball fans, gotten that translation back in the early 2000s, Light of Death, just Piccolo just going, Light of Death, it did bring death to the person he targeted at. Both people, actually. So it's not wrong, it's kind of accurate. But I really hope it doesn't get changed because I kind of like that name. I know it's not traditional, it's not even special beam cannon, but hey, just leave it alone, all right? But there are other things about chapter 100 that I'm really disappointed about, because the whole point of chapter 100 is that it's meant to be a milestone. It's meant to signify the future of what we could expect from Dragon Ball Super going forward, because yes, according to many sources, including the likes of Toyotaro himself with his celebratory self-congratulation message to himself and the fans in Japan, they are going to be working more on Dragon Ball Super. We are not going to be getting a Dragon Ball Diamond manga adaptation being part of this particular timeline. We will most likely get that in some other fashion later on, but I just feel like this Dragon Ball Super thing, it's just been a bit of a waste of time, honestly, and it's really gotten the entire Dragon Ball community down, especially when you got the likes of One Piece now getting its own version of Dragon Ball Kai effectively with Wit Studio called The One Piece, where it looks like they're going to be doing a somewhat rewritten version, probably off the back of the One Piece live action being really surprisingly a hit, and the Yu Yu Hakusho adaptation being pretty decent amongst most people. You know, anime adaptations are actually on a pretty good roll right now. So why not do this with Wit Studios animation, with the One Piece story that everybody likes, and it keeps the One Piece train rolling because it means there's more content when the Toei version finishes. Very smart there. But with Dragon Ball, you just get the feeling like the very same animation studio and the very same people that produce it, Shueisha, don't really seem to understand what to do with Dragon Ball Super, especially this year. They had a little bit of a break between Chapter 87 and Chapter 88. We all thought that they were going to be cooking up something, but we got this instead. Chapter 100 being the conclusion of it, and 2023 being a sort of nothing year for Dragon Ball. 2024 will be better, and I am hoping that there will be some more content for us to enjoy, but let's just pass over the things that I did like and things that I noted from Chapter 100, because there were some changes on this, just not changes that probably people would have expected. And one thing that you can see from this double page cover right here is that it's really good. If there is one thing I cannot fault, is that Toyotaro, he has come a long way in terms of drawing. This and plenty of other panels in this chapter are gorgeous to look at. You can very much tell he enjoyed drawing the likes of Cell Max. But here, Android 18, she clearly remembers her time with Vegeta because, look, she's doing his arm thing. That you'll find out later, she acts so much like a jerk in this chapter. And this entire arc, I could really care less for Android 18 right now because she really didn't contribute all that much and she was just mean, just really mean-spirited. Had we never seen this before, like we got the manga version first and then we got the movie, that would have been really hype because you'd have the drawn version and then the animated version, seeing all of that brought to life, that would have been so epic. That would have been the right way to do things. And it does seem like Shueisha is planning to go back to that model because they are delaying the anime so much. And this is just summing it all up. This entire sequence would have been really cool had we seen the drawn version first. All of this, Toyotaro's additions, have been really good in making some sort of jeopardy, because one thing that's become really apparent is that with the Gohan Beast Light of Death special beam cannon or something like that, the beam struggle, well, I say beam struggle, but beam and head struggle was a lot tougher than it was in the animated version. In there, Gohan Beast was just like super edgy and go like, oh yeah, I'm really strong, my turn, special beam cannon, and then Cell Max effectively just goes down immediately. Whereas here, it's a lot more struggly. And what becomes even more apparent, the further allusions to the Cell games and the Cell saga, the beam struggle that Perfect Cell and Gohan had, was that Goten and Trunks pull a Vegeta and become the distraction that throws Cell Max off his balance and allows Gohan to do it now! And then he does a roar! And then he gets the final hit, it goes through Cell Max's head, and then he's done. And again, some of these panels are absolutely gorgeous. Toyotaro has really improved, and I am not questioning his artistic ability whatsoever. He is a good guy to be drawing this manga, and I'm not questioning that at all. He's absolutely fine. He just needs juicier stuff to draw, because all this stuff is just a repeat. But at least now he is able to accept that, unlike with the Tournament of Power arc, where he was repeating that, and it was clearly rushed. Here, though, it just seems a little bit more patient. And this shot right here, I feel that pretty much just represents the entire fandom right now. They're just trying to pass through all of the information that, oh god, we've just wasted a year with the repeat. Oh, why hadn't I seen this first? Cell Max has just got a hole in the head, literally. The worst of headaches. All over the fact that we're already repeating something that we've seen in 2022 and realizing that we've been kind of duped while all other animated industries and communities are having a great time right now. And let's not forget there's one last callback to the Cell saga because Cell, in his second form too, blows up and then explodes. But there was something that really bothered me, and it was something that I thought about in the animated version, is that in Dragon Ball Z, Cell, when he does this, could, in theory, blow up the planet, and he does threaten that to Gohan. That's why Goku has to do his thing and sacrifice himself. Cell Max here is quite a bit bigger. He's a lot stronger, and yet, in the movie, and here as well, all he does is just create a very, very big crater. He's on the ground as well. In theory, this should just completely decimate the planet to pieces. Surely both Orange Piccolo and Gohan would find some way to just chuck him up into space or something like that. Sure, that might rejig the gravitational field or the orbit of Earth, but at least the Earth would somehow be intact. That was just something that bothered me in a way, just the lack of consistency with power scaling. But hey, that's not the first time this has happened with inconsistency in power levels and whatnot. And of course, Toyotaro does not like Krillin all that much, so we get one last dig at Krillin because he's trying to join the worms inside of the dirt. Well, hey Krillin, just remember where your place is in the pecking order. The worms inside of the dirt are higher than you. And one other thing I was really happy to see was that Piccolo confirmed to us all that Gamma 2, yes, he was the superhero of the arc and the movie. I told you all, he was the superhero. Everybody was doubting me, but no, he was the guy who stepped up and did everything. He acted like a true superhero, and something that Goten and Trunks should really inspire to be. And okay, yeah, so in the middle of Dr. Hedo just realizing, hey, I've been kind of a jerk, I was misled, everyone's kind of like going, hey, you're not all that bad, because Krillin's doing the Goku thing of going, you're not evil, you know? I can sense some good in you. Even Piccolo's just like, yeah, well, you're not a do-gooder, but you're not an evil-doer. It's like, you know, you're all right. I don't see any problem with that. And then 18's just going like, what? You gave androids a bad name. And it's just like, oh my god, 18, you've been written terribly in this arc. First, she's implying that Krillin's got some infidelity problem, and now she's basically just digging on Hedo right when he's at his most repentant and at his lowest ebb, when he's looking to try and find some way to either turn himself in or redeem himself. He offers that work in Bulma's cosmetic department, he gets that, but 18 throughout all of this has just been a complete and utter waste of space. I don't know, she just rubbed me up the wrong way in this entire arc, and it would just been better if she just remained at home. It was just something that she didn't really contribute all of that much, and we only just got some explanation about why she was even there in the first place when the animated movie just had her there for some reason. We all thought initially that it would have been, oh cool, this is just a continuation of what they were doing during the Tournament of Power when Krillin and 18 were fighting together as husband and wife, but no, she was just there to make sure that Krillin was not cheating, but I don't know. I don't want to talk about that part anymore. That was just really disappointing. And she's just been really not contributing all of that much. And also the fact is, though, the way that Krillin talks right now is that, well, my cop buddies and I were investigating you, and we got you right where we want you, and you're offering to turn yourself in, but you know what? I think you're a good guy, and I'm not going to arrest you, buddy. You're trying to be the best cop here, Krillin, and you are letting a guy who you've been pursuing for a long time, you lost to a B2, go. into the employment and sanctuary of Capsule Corp. Yeah, I think your boss is going to have some questions for you, mate. And I think you might be done for corruption or, not arresting somebody when you should be. And oh yeah, Pan can still fly, and that's not really a surprise. And many people were thinking that was the surprise and unexpected twist that Carine had survived the main draw of why this was going to be a surprise for chapter 100. I mean, sure, as you may be realizing on this channel, Haverock and I, we like Carine and the opportunities that he may have. We suspected that he might have survived the situation after he got his jaw dislocated by Pan in the movie, and now he has been confirmed to survive and try and pick up the pieces of what's left with the Red Ribbon Pharmaceuticals Company. We might see him again in the future as some kind of grizzled, mad scientist or person like Dr. Giraud. This might not be the end of it. But at the very least, I'm glad that he did survive, that there could be some opportunities going forward, and that we might actually get to see some of his GodTube content or something like that, because that's something that we missed from the manga, because the manga just made him into a generic henchman, whereas in the animated version, he actually at least had some personality and was mildly eccentric or something. We just missed that in the manga version, so there was some good stuff and bad stuff about this adaptation. And also, what I really kind of liked was the fact that we got a little bit more lamentation from Gohan realizing, yeah, I've been really absent and I've been a bit of a jerk, and yeah, I'm sorry, Pan, I promised to spend more time with you and Videl. And then he pulls another Vegeta by going, hey, why don't I take you to an amusement park or something? You see, Vegeta, even though he's not there, he's like the Poochie of this arc of like, where's Vegeta? Because first off, we get 18 mimicking his arm thing, and now Gohan promising his kid that he would take them to an amusement park. So even though Vegeta is busy winning over Kakarot in another dimension and on Beerus's planet, he's there back on Earth no matter what. So for an 100th chapter manga, I'm really a little bit sad that this is what we got, that it was just pretty much capping off this and no allusions at all to what we could expect for the next arc, and we're gonna have to wait another month for that, because this was something that we were being alluded to, that we would expect something exciting. There's really not gonna be much coming in from Jump Festa. Just 2023 seems a bit of a nothing year for Dragon Ball, and of course 2024 will be better because it is the 40th anniversary of the entire concept of Dragon Ball, the IP, but this year it's just been a bit of a holding pattern sort of a thing. There's not really been much to get excited about for this year specifically. And I feel like chapter 100 just summed it all up. This was just a recap year, honestly, and it just feels like, what were we even doing here? Because we didn't really get much new stuff, except with the Trunks High School stuff. That was kind of neat, and Goten being his own person. But towards the end of it, it was just getting to that point where this is just the movie with some little extra tidbits just to kind of make it sure that it wasn't completely cloned from the movie. It's just like, Krillin losing to a bee, man. Just, ugh. Less said about Android 18, the better. Anyway, now we're pretty much done with this arc. We can expect something new for next month. Let me know what you think in the comments could happen, or what you would like, or what you thought about this entire arc in general. And I'll see you again next month, folks. Catch you later.